Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, enemies and friends, welcome to the show that never ends. You are tuned into On the Real, and today we have a very extremely special guest. I would even veer off to say royalty. King David is in the building. How are you doing, good sir?
Peace and blessings to everyone. What's going on, peoples?
Thank you.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm so proud of your journey, sir. Me and you have been in contact indirectly, directly, and in virtual person.
We probably been in car accidents with each other.
I know exactly, right? Listening to each other and crashing. Great to meet you, Lavar, Asante. Right. You already know. I know. Let's get to all this blackness here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So now, Mr. Asante, how are you doing, good sir?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. We got the king in the building. I mean, come on now. You cannot do much better than that. I'm doing great today, man. How's the rest of you guys doing this evening?
Mr. Johnson.
Happy to be alive, man.
Hold on 1 second.
Indeed. He's you got LeVar looking extra fresh today.
Yeah, I see the glasses.
I like that, man.
Those seem like celebratory glasses, but we will talk about that later. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So
what ring was that? Let me see that ring again.
Voltron.
Okay.
That's not bad.
I got a lion on too. Yeah. I was like, is that a lion? I had to turn my statue on to spin and keep it spinning.
Oh yeah, you got to turn the beat around, man. You got to turn that beat around.
Hey, so hold on. Just y'all tell me, how do you guys hear the wind in the background? Because I got the AC on. I'll turn it off if it gets crazy.
Nah.
We good?
No, you good.
All right, good. I'm not gonna get a heat stroke.
No. If I start getting hot, then I'm gonna start messing with you.
Turn that shit off.
Yeah, I'm start messing with you. But like, I had some wind, so you can sweat too.
All right. So every week we always start out with what we've been watching this week. So since you are our esteemed guest today, Mr. King David, I'm gonna ask you, what have you been watching this week, good sir?
Okay, so I've been I finished Ninjutsu Kensei on HBO. I'm at 7 Deadly Sins now. My joint is back.
Season 5.
Yes.
Well, so okay, let me talk to you about. I'm glad. See, that's why I rock with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see? I fell off on season 4 because they got that budget animation studio, and it. The shit looked like your 4-year-old drew it in season 4. Has that been corrected in season 5?
No,
I just saw the trailer.
No. It's. I believe it's the same studio that was at the beginning of season 4. Okay. And I noticed this happens because contracts run out with certain animation houses, and certain animation houses have other contracts that they take on and stuff like that. And you try to replicate the same visuals. Sometimes it's not to the same, and I know you're a visual dude. You know, you have your stuff that you're coming out with, so you want the same level of quality all the way through. Me, I watch it for the visual fidelity, but also I also watch it for the story. I'm already enraptured in the story of it. So yeah, it's the same as season 4. You know, because I noticed as soon as you might be completely turned off by the second episode, because I'm at the second episode with Bond and stuff like that. But it's beautiful stuff for me because I'm a junkie for this stuff.
Okay.
All right. So I watched what it was, that Greenland, a terrible movie. Horrible movie.
Wait, hold on. Greenland is the joint with Gerard Butler, right?
Yes, sir.
I didn't hate it, man. I did not hate that movie.
I hated the plot points. I didn't like the stupidity of a lot of things. But again, remember, I guess it's because of we're raised in a certain manner. I would have gotten in the truck with the Spanish people. I wouldn't have gotten in the truck with those white people because they were looking kind of fishy and they was doing kind of fishy things. So, you know, my internal radar would have went off anyway. And when it happened, we teach our children when something's going on with your parents. I mean, if somebody would have grabbed my mom's like that, I think I would have took my seatbelt fast off and I would have grabbed his wife up like, you know, listen, you gonna let my mom's go? Like, but the kid didn't defend. I just really didn't like a lot of things in the plot.
We talk about this every week. We spoke about something similar last week. well, you see people doing foolish things. Like what's the joke we made last week? Most movies, you see some noise somewhere, and they go, "Oh, let me go hear what that sounds like."
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah. I don't.
Oh yes,
I don't ever.
Some shit's going down. We're getting the fuck out.
I don't ever go inside a dark room and hear something in the corner and say hello.
Oh, let's go there.
I'm not giving away my GPS. You're not gonna know where I am. My location will not be ever given away.
But here's the thing about that, and I think that is sort of intrinsic to our experience here, maybe around the world, but definitely in America, where your radar, I think, as a black man or woman, it always has to be up just in real life.
Yeah,
right.
Because they're always on guard.
Right, and I think that when you see those things happen, because we had a whole episode, our inaugural episode was why you do not see more black-led horror films. And I think it is because American audiences do not empathize with the fear of black people. They just think we don't feel pain, we don't have fear.
No, they think it's a joke. Like it's not real. Like it's something that they think it's something that we are perceiving and it's not a real situation. I'd say this to say
they don't feel it.
Let me tell you, I find the irony in the fact that when they did make, and if you didn't see Greenland, I do apologize, but I'm spoiling it. It's a trash movie. Don't go watch it.
We spoil it all here. Right? Go for it, man.
The irony in the fact that because of his crazy wife and his dumb son, they blew up the other ships with hundreds of thousands of people on those flights, right? So because people was like, oh, how did they, because my wife was like, how did they get into Greenland? How did they just let them in like that? I said, well, because of they stupid behind, hundreds of thousands of people died on those flights earlier. They got nothing but bed space now, so they're letting anybody get in. So and if you got to Greenland, because of what happened in the earlier part of the movie, that his family killed off hundreds of thousands of people, those 3 people was allowed to get in.
Right, but again, that's really the thing where as you get older, you kind of watch these movies and start empathizing with the villain because the protagonists are so stupid, right? Like you'll watch a horror movie and you'll be like, you know what? That's why Jason gonna kill your ass because your mother told you to stay in the house.
I hope they burn in hell.
You out here fooling around with Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Good for your ass.
Cutting class. That's why you dead.
Well, then you start talking like a parent.
Yep,
exactly.
You're at this camp, the lights are off. You're holding it.
So as soon as you come in fornication, you know you're gonna die, right?
The lights are off. You're holding a flashlight. You hear a noise and you want to left. Yeah, no,
not gonna happen.
No, but if I didn't teach you better and you have to go searching in the dark, then that's a problem. Yes.
Yeah. So I finished. I did Greenland. I also did my Loki. I watched Bad Batch. I got a chance to see Cad Bane in all his glory.
How you like them Bad Batch?
I love them.
What do you think of the Bad Batch? We've had some divisive conversation about that.
I love them because this is giving me a side of defective clones, because you always talked about how the clones were so effective in their methods and stuff like that. Now, this is the Bad Batch. This is the batch that didn't go so well, and you start to see how they deal with things. They still are efficient, but they're outside of the box. So you're talking about blue pill versus red pill type of stuff. You're talking about people that don't conform to the norms. There's a lot of underlining stuff if you actually watch things to start to dissect. So Bad Batch just shows you the people that are not in line with getting things done, but when they were presented with a situation that they were meant to lose and they thought outside of the box, had there been other clones, those other clones would have died. But when they sent the robots after them and the general was looking to see how efficient they were, no, they thought outside the box and they got the job done. So they're trying to tell you that these individuals with free thought is a bad batch because they don't follow orders, and they took the chip out of their head. And have you noticed that they themselves seem to get things done much better than all the others do, but they're considered the bad batch, but technically they're far more effective than the entire squad. So because they have
free
thought.
It's quite interesting, the juxtaposition.
Right.
Free will. That's right.
Yeah,
Very much
it's
so.
it's free will versus conformity. And when they boy was like,
that's right.
There's a lot of things we could have done stuff different. We don't have to scrounge for money if we would have just went with the government and we would have just went along with the plan. And old boy is like, yo, this is how we're living right now. This is what we're doing and we're surviving. Why are you worried about it? And they have a liberty and freedoms to different things, because if they didn't listen, then they would have killed that small group of refugees that were that was helping everybody
way
in the
back
region.
In the beginning. That's right.
Right. So I mean, it's things. If you watch it, if you catch it as an adult, you start to see things and not just see the surface. You start to dig under layers and stuff like that. But I've been a free thinker forever, so watching it, I love the fact that they free thought. And that's my thing for the week.
What do you think of the Filoni verse? Real quick, the Filoni-ness of it. I don't know if you've watched previous shows from Dave Filoni. Are you familiar with the Filoni verse?
No, explain it to me, and I'll probably get it, because I've probably watched a lot of Dave Filoni stuff.
the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Bad Batch. I'm sure you recognize the art style. You've watched some other Star Wars animated type shows, right? Similar art style. Yes. It's all by exactly. Dave Filoni created all of them, and it's almost like while the regular normal Star Wars was going off over here, he was in the corner doing his own thing, and he's gotten so good that now the powers that be have given him main Star Wars with what do you call it, Mandalorian. He did that as well. There's a very specific art style, if you will, signature to his way. You know, I was talking with Everborn a little while ago about it. In the beginning, it's always very slow and sluggish. But if you stick with it,
trying to get me to watch this show for quite some time now.
He manifests.
Well,
hey, the king knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. As far as the Mandalorian goes, what he did was he took the Star Wars universe, and we all know the overarching story where religion, incest, and all this other stuff is going on. But then he went into the layers of that verse and gave you stuff that was going in between that, and he was so good at what he did, he made stuff canon. He gave you what Anakin was doing during this period of time during the Clone Wars. He gave you when Order 66 was carried out and how the Jedi actually dealt with that, and how the Jedi was exterminated, and how did they catch the Jedi off guard if the Jedi was so powerful and stuff like that. So I understand exactly. Yeah, I'm well familiar with the.
Okay, let me ask you a question though.
Yeah,
you was just talking about the prequels, right?
Right. I'm talking about the whole overarching story of Star Wars, because the way they have it intertwined, we've been indoctrinated to this universe since what video game was that? With Revan and Malik, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes, sir.
So we've been indoctrinated through KOTOR 1. Exactly. Thank you.
Well,
we've been there.
What I was going to say to you as soon as I heard the prequel talk was that all of that's cool, but explain Jar Jar Binks to me.
Oh, the racist stuff?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, racist.
Maybe that's all that needs to be
racist.
said.
It's that simple.
Me said Jar Jar Binks.
Racist.
Me said Jar Jar Binks. That was rude.
But I don't because we always devolve into Star Wars talk, and I have a problem with the Mandalorian series because they were doing so well at expanding the universe, because I feel like there were only 2 good movies in the whole series.
Okay.
Some of them were tolerable, but 2 were excellent. Now, the other part of Star Wars that I have a problem with,
I don't agree with that, y'all. But anyway,
that's cool. That's cool. But the other part of Star Wars is this. We was raised in the same household, but listen, but hold on. The thing is you keep telling me it's this huge universe where anything could happen, crazy all over the galaxy, and
this
you
is the
keep
point
coming
that
back to
that I agree with him on.
Same. Skywalker saga, the same family, and every time they get away from it, they got to bring it right back.
Yep, he's absolutely right.
The whole new Disney trilogy was allegedly supposed to be to transition off to someone new, and then what did they do in the end?
It did.
What did they do in the end?
And then they brought it right back.
Now she's calling herself a Skywalker. It's right back to that one event, like it's a one-trick pony.
Is it the Skywalker saga, or is it the Palpatine saga? You know, they interwove while you was watching it. Then you didn't see the handshake. They gave you the Skywalker, but they also gave you the Palpatine saga in between it. And for the record, I thought every movie was a masterpiece within its own self if you encapsulate it and just watch it as that, right? And
in a vacuum, each film has its own merit. Ooh, exactly. Sounds like somebody said that last week.
Yeah, exactly. Because they went back to try to course correct things because they were dealing with the populace. If you don't go back to course correcting stuff and you just look at it for what it is, they gave you different individuals throughout the stuff. They're not going to expand and worry about the TIE fighter pilot over here. They already gave you your one movie in Rogue Squadron, and we're going to go through this part over here. They gave you little movies inside the universe. It's going to get to a larger stuff.
Rogue One may be the best. I like Episode 7, but Rogue One may be the best Disney Star Wars movie. But even then, in the end, they couldn't get away from it. Back to Darth Vader, back to meeting Leia on the ship.
Was Darth Vader the one, though? See, that's the biggest question. Was Darth Vader the chosen one? Or was it
James Earl Jones?
Yo, you know what? Okay, you know something? Let me tell you something. What it threw me off. When it threw me off was when they took the helmet off.
I knew it was going there.
Yo, because you know James L. Jones. You know James L. Jones.
You hear him. You know who he is.
The helmet off, and I was like, yo.
You know what's funny though? Like,
that was James Earl Jones on the prosthetic mecha.
That's fun.
That's a lot of makeup, bro.
Fun fact. Speaking of people that are always in masks, until Halo 4, I thought the Master Chief was black.
No,
I swear to God, that when he took off his mask at the end of that, because when they were gonna do a movie about it with Steven Spielberg producing it at the time,
they chose a black actor.
No. It was rumored that Denzel Washington was gonna play Master Chief.
That's weird. How would Denzel Washington play Master Chief?
I thought he was black. I'm not even joking.
He wasn't black because I was watching and reading all the books.
Okay.
So yeah. I knew he wasn't black, but I also noticed that they tried to get some form of diversity with a large pushback from the community with Spartan Locke.
So a lot of people don't want to talk about the real reason everybody was like they hate Locke.
Oh yeah, because he was a stronger.
Same thing we talked about with the prequels, racism.
Yeah. But
I'm sorry. There was a big part of that.
We're taught in video games not to see ourselves, right? I mean, and it's gotten better, but I have to applaud Microsoft for even introducing it and trying to show some form of change. Now, how the trailers panned out into what was left on the cutting room floor. I believe that Halo 5 was a bigger game. It had more stuff to it. It was a little bit more dynamic when it came to it. I do like the fact that they use my man Luke Cage for him. Everybody hated it. I love the story. Yeah. Like I said, I can delve deep into one episode of something and lose myself in that episode of something and take from it as I may. So I thought it was great. I usually play the one-player campaign, and then the multiplayer stuff, I leave that for if my squad gets together. But I thought the story was good. I wanted to see more of Spartan Locke, and I don't want him to be on the cutting room floor. I want Halo Infinite to go right back to what's going on with Spartan Locke.
Give him a character. Let him be a character. To your point, real quick, before you continue. To your point, with Microsoft, I do appreciate what you said, because that's one of the big reasons why and we're not a gaming podcast right now, but we're still going to go there just real quick. That's Saturday. But we're going to go there just real quick. I appreciate you saying that, because that's a big reason why I chose Xbox over the other way back in the day. You know why? Crackdown.
Yeah, you saw yourself.
I saw Crackdown way back in the day, and he looked like me. Way back in the day. OG Xbox. Okay, and ever since then, I was like, yo, these people know what they're doing. Obviously, there were many different characters, but the one on the cover was the black dude, which had not happened during that time.
Right.
So I feel you.
So one thing, and we can move away from Halo is that
I like Spartan Locke because he bald headed. But go ahead.
I think for me, I think that Spartan Locke should have gotten his own game before they put him in a game.
They rushed him
with the Master Chief. Not that they rushed, because they gave him a movie, right? They had Nightfall.
Right. Yeah,
to me, should have been a game.
That was so good.
The gaming audience didn't know them. They rushed him to the gaming audience.
Right, and
he showed up, and then
to me, it's a disservice in the same way. And I'm going to transition to the MCU now. It's this.
Can I expound on that one part that you? All right. Everybody forgets the transition that Microsoft was in at that period of time because they brought studios, movie studios, to do movies. They wanted to do the Disney stuff that Disney is doing now with encapsulating their universes and putting them on episodic viewing for the public.
Like Quantum Break. That was such a great idea. I wish they would do more like that and also give us a sequel. But
you know, and Sony was doing that stuff because they saw what Sony was doing with Powers and getting their message out there. So,
but let's be honest, Powers wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't. But it was
Xbox's version was very good. It was actually pretty good. Yeah.
So I like the move. I just didn't think that it was on the proper platform to get out there, and I don't think it was pushed properly. Had they did so, I think he'd have been a little bit more well received going forward. And you don't give up if you don't succeed in the beginning. This is for everything in life. You must keep trying. You must you must push forward. If you have a vision and you want your vision to be seen, sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and you have to be that squeaky wheel. You have to want to be seen. And if you give up the first time that you're not seen, that level of defeat will always follow you. So I think that when they gave up because it wasn't initially successful, they should have put out more episodes. They should have gave people get that cult classic feel to it. So then what you're trying to achieve can actually be achieved.
Okay,
100% agree.
So let me try to bring us back on the rails. Anytime you mention Star Wars and Halo,
get back on the reel.
All right, but I think that is a similar thing that they have done to Miles Morales. I think they're setting him up for failure by continuing to call him Spider-Man. I think he should have his own name like Venom. Because
what do you think of that, King? That's his argument. What do you think?
I always felt different when it came to that. When they introduced Miles, first of all, I don't think Miles got a chance to be that child. They quickly aged him. They aged him really quickly because they saw that the uptake in comic book sales or digital sales and interest in Miles was so high. We needed to make him the mainstay Spider-Man because Spider-Man books actually started lagging and Miles books started going up. So let's make him Spider-Man because we have a different core now that are buying books. I don't think you have to pander to your audience, but you have to stay true to the character. Being that I'm a Marvel dude, I like Miles when Miles is in high school, book bag. I don't like him being aged. You go to college, get a job, and stuff like that. I think him learning on the job because Peter Parker has been Peter Parker forever. He was in high school forever. He was working as a Daily Planet forever before he even got to the part of where he can marry Jane and go to college and stuff like that. I just think that we lost valuable years of a youth dealing with these powers to age him, to get him to a demographic that he can be looked at as the demographic that they're going for. They're going for the 18 to 25 so bad that they're trying to have him identifiable with that.
Don't you think that when they saw that the public really resonated with Miles for one reason or another, it became less about let's grow him and mature him as a character and became more about let's make him the Black Spider-Man. Let's get him out there. He's the Black Spider-Man. And because of that, he lost his development. Some of his character development has been lost because he's just representative of the Black Spider-Man,
and that's why he should have his own name. I think he will be just as big as Venom. Venom started out as a gnarly Spider-Man when Todd McFarlane just wanted to draw like crazy shit.
Spider-Man,
right. So for that, but anyway, I want to talk about.
I look at Miles Morales as Miles Morales. Spider-Man is just who he is.
I call him Miles Morales more than Spider-Man anyway, even when he's in his Spider-Man suit.
So that whole Spider-Man title is just a title. It's just they're like how anybody could be the Flash, anybody could be Robin. It's a title. They're Dick Grayson or whoever they are, you know, when they're not in costume. That's just a title.
I don't mind Miles Morales being Spider-Man. I don't mind Miles Morales being Spider-Man, but to make Peter Parker black, that'd be a problem.
See, but this is the problem.
Peter Parker's Peter Parker and Miles is Miles. Spider-Man is just who they are when they put on the costume.
This is the problem.
Whoever wears that costume is in the Spider universe.
This is the problem. When they killed off Barry Allen to make way for the new Flash, they had to kill him off. They killed off Peter Parker in that universe to make way for Miles. And that's why when he took that moniker of Spider-Man up, but when they collapsed the universes, then Peter was still alive in the other universe. So now how are you going to reconcile this part here when you merge the universes and Miles makes it over? He's Spider-Man here, you're Spider-Man here. I don't know. I don't know how you do that.
They don't wear the same costume. People know they're different Spider-Man.
Right.
But why does every other Spider-Man character have their own their own name?
Gwen
Scarlet Spider, Venom,
right? Scarlet Spider, or you know.
Well, see, if you'd have said Black Spider-Man, like if you'd have said the Black Spider,
I don't call him Black Spider-Man. He's always Miles.
Yeah, but see, nobody knows he's Miles. I mean, you can't, like what is somebody going to identify him with? And his suit is black and red. So you don't want to say I mean, let's call the truth. You tell the truth, shame the devil. You don't want to say, yo, they go Black Spider-Man.
Reminds me of that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Remember that joke in there?
Spider-Man. People see different costumes. They don't know who is Spider-Man, if it's different people or not.
Right.
So
remember Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that joke when he was on there? Hey, look, it's Black Falcon.
He said no.
Nah, it's just Falcon.
Just Falcon.
Yeah, right. He's black, but he's Falcon.
But I don't think Black Spider is a bad name. I'm just saying.
I mean, when Spider-Man when he was in his Venom suit, they was like, "Oh, Black Spider-Man," and
not Black Spider-Man, just Black Spider. It got a ring to it.
Maybe Black Spider. Okay, but Black Spider-Man sounds like M'Baku's,
mayonnaise.
That's a little too much.
Yeah,
that's a little too.
I love that stuff.
That's a little
I love the 70s. I'm a 70s dude. So I get all that stuff.
None of them work today.
All right. So now I think we got to skip the rest of what we're watching because we're going to lose the time.
Yeah,
but I want to talk about Loki episode 4 real quick, and then I want to move to the other thing.
The big story.
LeVar, tell me what you thought about Loki episode 4.
I was right all along that they were going to show all these other Lokis. I knew it that it was going to be Kid Loki because I said it because of the action figures. As soon as you see action figures and stuff, you're going to see it in some film form. But yeah, it was a better episode than last week. The end threw me for a loop, because I was like, holy shit, they killed him, and then I thought,
this is what it is. It's the MC fake death universe. Yeah. How much times they gonna kill everybody and then find ways to bring them back?
That's kind of
that's true. But like with Loki, I just feel like it's too much at this point. You killed a man too many times. It means nothing when he dies.
If there's
finish your point.
Okay, do any of y'all watch Rick and Morty?
Yes, sir.
I do. Yeah.
If there's a million U's or whatever, then nothing means nothing. You could always pull another one from another universe and put it right back there.
And that is the essence of comic books.
That's what it is.
I get it, but I feel like
it's not real life, Steve. So suspend disbelief. As long as the movie,
especially Loki,
a million times.
Yeah, especially
Loki. But you know what, Steve? I actually think I'll go opposite. I think it's not enough. They're dumbing it down. Honestly, like this episode, that's what my thought on it. They dumbed it down. Why? Because and like
with the Halloween costume,
they're trying to create.
I love that stuff, man.
They're trying to recreate what you get in the comic books, right?
It was dope.
They're trying to recreate what you get in the comic books. Normally, you read one issue, it goes this way. You read another issue, it goes that way. Sometimes, whatever the problem is, lasts for many, many, many issues before it gets resolved. They're trying to recreate that idea on film, which is great. But on the flip, Then you got Feige also going, well, if you didn't watch the show and you watch only the movies, it can't be too complicated so that you lose out. You have to just be like, oh, well, I missed it, but I can still follow along. So because of that, I feel like because of that idea, they're going half in, half out. Half in, like this was a very, I know they do. Right. This was a very, very, very comic book centric episode, and I was very happy to see it because this is what happens in the comics, right? But the difference is in the comics, it lasts like this for multiple issues. It doesn't undo itself in a cutscene 5 minutes after. You know what I mean? They're kind of in and out, in and out. This is, to me, this was one of the better episodes. One of the better episodes of the MCU MCU shows.
I didn't like Loki up until this episode. I thought action was high. I thought story it was dragging, but it gave you a lot of little tidbits here and there as they were building up, and you knew that you were waiting for the MCU scene after the scene, and this one actually did it. My thing was
like that Wizard of Oz shit with the timekeepers.
I loved all of it. Yeah, because I love the whole thing because the mystery behind the timekeepers, when you actually got to see the timekeepers, you were like, "Wow, that's kind of crazy." They actually showing them, but you knew that wasn't King the Conqueror. You knew King the Conqueror actually is in control of the whole timekeepers association.
Do you think Kang is gonna be shown?
Oh yeah.
You're sure about
Lovecraft.
Jonathan Majors? You think Jonathan Majors is gonna come out in Loki next week? 2 weeks from now?
I don't think it's next week. I think they end on that because he is.
There is thoughts that there's a second season potentially for Loki.
I don't think so.
Some folks, there's speculation with those who know who think that there might be second season.
But the reason why I say I don't think so is because their joint and the way their contracts are set up is finite. These individuals that did sign these long contracts, they signed up to do the TV series. And that was it. Like the same thing with WandaVision and stuff like that. They are slated in this slot to do these episodes to push the plot point forward. But back to the episode, it felt comic bookish. What is love? It felt so good that Loki found love, and they start delving into his psyche, how he's a narcissist, and only a true narcissist would fall in love with himself.
I thought that was great.
It was fantastic.
I'll tell you. So for me,
love yourself is the greatest love of all.
But you know how he truly fell in love with himself. Like, oh my God, I love you, beautiful.
But to me, funny enough, like, so my favorite series so far was actually WandaVision out of the three.
Right.
I've gone ad nauseum about how I felt about Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is I like the stated mission, Falcon, but I think they were trying to.
The Soldier was mediocre.
The execution. I thought it was the best one out of the series so far. But I don't like what they did to the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier showed up. He's right there, mind you, on my shelf. He has a very high place with me. Is a portrait right next to him. When he was ever introduced, he's a badass. When he was introduced in the movie, he was a badass. When he got to this TV show, he lost mass and size, and now he's on the chair trying to refrain from being a badass. But when you did have to fight, those instincts should be that you should be a badass. Like, you the one that pushed Captain America to the brink, and the only reason why Captain America didn't die is because you snapped. So I don't like what they did with him. So that was just my take on it.
They did weaken him a little bit.
They do in everything.
Like, you just touch him and his arm falls off. Like, really?
Come on, man. No, that was lit though. That was lit. She was like,
come on,
she was like, yo, kick your arm up.
I love it when the Dora shows up because they're there to mess with everyone's mind. You think you're the boss? Let me grab your Let me grab your shield better than you can.
You see my shoulders,
right? No, but the thing to me. My issue with Falcon and Winter Soldier is that they try to cram too many plot threads into one season. I think Isaiah Bradley is a single season. That story of the Falcon finding out
it could have been,
and then
they could have blown that out.
U.S. Agent is another whole separate thing. And I do think, like, I do agree that the Winter Soldier got shortchanged a little bit. So to me, I think it just wasn't as focused as these other series, but I like what they were trying to go for. And I also think they should have picked a different actress to play Falcon's sister. I don't think that. I think somebody like a Sana Lathan or
you didn't like her? I love her country self.
No, I think she was good. Yeah,
not
everybody needs to be famous. She
played
did a
her
good
part.
job.
She was an everyday woman. She was everyday.
I know, but I don't know. I don't know if she had the presence that I was looking for.
But
maybe I expected too much from the show.
You did.
I had the highest expectations.
You had the black lead.
You
had the black lead that didn't get the lead because he had to share the lead with the white co-star that was at the co-star who was the star. So you didn't know who was the star. But then when he actually got a chance to be Captain America, listen, I understand there's so much stuff that's going there, but they had to break down a lot of walls to build up a lot of expectations going forward. They gave you, because they're gonna bring Steve Rogers back, and you're gonna find out certain things.
You think so?
Yeah, no, they are.
I think it's a cop-out that Bucky was there to say Cap didn't know. I think Cap did know, and he didn't say nothing, just like he didn't tell Tony.
You thought, okay.
But
no, I don't think Cap knew.
That's
how you don't think Cap
knew? Didn't know.
How did Cap not know?
Cap did not know because Cap was he was a tool, and he went into the ice. So Cap was not. He was not. Listen, Bucky was out here.
Same explanation I gave you.
Yeah,
exactly the same explanation.
Buck was out here getting busy. All right, they unfroze Buck, and Buck was out here getting busy.
If you Buck.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Buck was out here getting busy, right? So Cap doesn't have the experience as Bucky because he was in the ice. That's why he was a more experienced fighter when he got a chance to fight Cap, and he was able to do a lot of things. But at the same time, he was, like he said, he got his butt whipped by Isaiah. Right? Isaiah was that first soldier who was actually in the trenches, who went back and guided people. Of course, he was going to be experimented on first. Those was heartfelt episodes that make people, that piqued the curiosity of what are they talking about. They didn't even have to approach it, but the fact that they did approach it,
I do a whole series
appreciate that, but I want to.
You might get it later.
I want to see that.
They should have let it breathe. They should have given us the
whole. It
is
one out. It is an animated out. But they will approach it later on because the reception for the character was so high that people want that information. So I mean, we in the statue community, they have a whole bunch of customs going up for Isaiah Bradley. So that actually,
if nothing else, give us an animated 2-hour film, explaining the backstory.
I think those stuff come. I think those stuff happen. And what if? Because remember, we still got what if.
I'm looking forward.
Yes. What if is going to be the best? I always thought What If comic books was great.
It was great. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
Okay, so now with that, where do you think Loki goes from here? And then I want to briefly talk about the current state of the MCU. But where do you think Loki goes next? How does this season end? We got 2 episodes left, right?
All right. So he found love, and she saw her man die. And because
they're going to cause some Nexus event that's going.
Well, they did once he fell in love. See, I didn't understand a couple of things because at one point in time I thought that she was the Enchantress because she was an anomaly. She was a variant.
She's kind of both. They kind of combined her into
right. They took that character and they said, okay, we're going to make her. Even though in the books Loki has been a kid, Loki has been a woman, Loki has been old, Loki has been young, and Loki has been black as you saw. And they showed all of this stuff. I love the fact that they do this. I think
real quick, season 2 confirmed by Disney Plus. I put the link in the chat. Season 2 has been confirmed by Disney.
When I see it happen, then I'll believe it.
We'll see. Yeah. But
I see
those who are in the know have confirmed that they are working on a season 2. Will it happen?
I don't know, but we'll see how this ends, right? We'll see what happens.
COVID part 3 don't come.
Exactly,
boy.
Let's not go there.
I just feel that I'm when he died, I thought that she would go back in time and branch off to a variant to grab him. So I didn't think I didn't know how the erasing goes and what happens. So does that mean Owen Wilson character, is he still alive? You know,
of course,
it's different
nobody dies
things.
when everybody who got poked with that stick, they just went to like some dimension to live with all the other versions of them that they deleted. So
Could
that's
be.
for everyone.
That's kind of crazy. I can't wait to see that.
It's amazing how it looked like they were being incinerated. Literally, the graphics looked that way.
You see how it terrified Tom Hiddleston? Like when he saw the first dude get electrocuted, he's like, "Yo, I got my ticket, blood. I got my ticket."
I would have been like, "Where's it at?" Real quick.
Okay,
that ain't really so bad to be there with a bunch of other versions of yourself because everybody don't look the same and there's women.
Oh, but he doesn't know that, right?
So
he didn't know that it was transporting.
now, so it ain't that bad. So everybody who was scared was for nothing.
So the other thing,
real talk,
that ain't that bad.
As Guardians are supposed to
with yourself.
As Guardians are supposed to be able to lift 1 to 10 tons depending on the individuals, right? Mm-hmm. How come they're struggling with
against guards,
regular, people?
That is a question I've been wanting to ask. How is it?
It is
we
not
live in this world. It's true they don't use magic in the TVA, but still, we got to devolve into demigods into hand-to-hand combat. Come on,
they're supposed to be able to lift 1 to 10 tons.
Come on now.
And so that's the thing that
Loki
confused
was
me.
doing all of that other shit, stopping buildings from coming down and all that other shit. Why are you even punching people?
Well, but that's not in the TVA. That was on another planet. That's where he can do that. In the TVA,
but even
on
on that planet, he was still fist fighting on the train.
Yeah. Which is so weird to me. Like
With
you are a demigod.
All the kind of shit because you have your powers. Yeah. There are no strings on me. You know what I'm saying? So
all right. So let me move this along.
I'll give you that
real quick. So MCU, right? We're finishing up Loki. We got Shang-Chi coming out with Abomination in it.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yeah,
we got the Eternals coming. We got Black Widow coming next week.
Up until I saw that Abomination was in it.
Really? You didn't want to see Shang-Chi?
Nah, it looks like they're doing the Mortal Kombat movie better than Mortal Kombat did it.
You out of your mind.
Look like Snake Eyes is doing it better than they are, but we shall see.
As you see down there, Iron Fist is down there.
I'm gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? But I have no real high.
I think it's gonna be a good. It's gonna be at least
the number one fighter in the MCU. He's the number one hand-to-hand combatant in the MCU, with the second being flip-flop either between Black Panther, Moon Knight, and Iron Fist.
Daredevil?
No, hell
no, not even close. Yeah, see, and he's speaking on comic book knowledge, right?
Wait,
how they translate that to the MCU is going to be a question because he's
sorry.
Shang-Chi's supposed to be the guy.
Top 10.
Shang-Chi's supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be the hand-to-hand specialist of all the MCU.
Yes.
So far, although I really like what I've seen, I don't think that the person they chose really exudes that. I don't see it so far. That's just trailers.
Does he grow into it? We'll see.
I mean,
we'll see. Yeah.
Does he get the
because
glow?
This guy is supposed to be.
Does he Bruce Leroy it?
Man,
exactly.
That's crazy because I was just about to bring that shit up. I would love for them to remake that movie
every
with,
MCU. How many movies have we seen right now?
Or some
we've seen like 22 films or something like that. Mm-hmm. How much hand-to-hand have we seen? 23. Sorry. How much hand-to-hand combat have we seen? We've seen a lot.
Soldier.
Exactly. It was definitely the best. This guy's supposed to be better than all of them. But so far, based on what we've seen,
he showed this last trailer, he showed some stuff. Like this last trailer when he was fighting against his sensei, like his pops put his sensei on his tail, and I think his sensei is going to be his nemesis throughout the whole thing until he can overcome his sensei to actually achieve that is the gatekeepers, the mini boss before you get to your pops.
Before you get to the main boss.
Exactly.
See, what worries me about this, King, is the way you approach this situation with he is the fighter of of Marvel. He is the top fighter. That's how you approached it, rightly so. I'm afraid that the MCU, those who are building this, Feige has a history of knowing all of this stuff. But so far, it doesn't look like the creators went into this with that in mind.
But he's growing.
It doesn't look like that way.
You saw him doing the push-up.
When
he was doing the push-up. Man, I said, okay, because I have a level of fear going into it because of Iron Fist, the Netflix show.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
How they
Jesus shuttles
work. Twice shy, man.
Right.
Once bitten, twice shy. Yes, indeed.
So,
although I will say I was a huge fan of Luke Cage. I still am.
Yes.
Get at me. I think that
show.
Great.
I watched it.
It was
season 1.
I mean, season 2 with
when he was walking down the street and the whoop came on, I was done. It was a wrap. It was over.
But
it's just like there's so many Jamaicans out here. Why do you can't find a Jamaican actor?
Well, it's because that actor brought everything. It's in the totality of the whole what he can bring to the character.
Even beyond that, his uncle and other people who was related to him, it sounded so bad, like they was doing some Irish accent or some shit like that.
Listen, I feel what you're saying, but the representation was an effort that was there. We're gonna get to the part where we're at authenticity going forward.
Just
we just need it first.
Make them regular black.
LeVar, why is it that every time we have a conversation about any of this stuff, somebody got to bring up accents, but as soon as they bring up accents and I bring up Black Panther, we got to move on.
We're moving on now. We're moving on.
Okay.
Screw the Black Panther. Black Panther had horrible accents, man.
My family is West Indian. That bothers me. I'm not related to anybody from in Africa or whatever, and different people in Africa talk different ways.
Go far enough back and you are
differentiate the dialects,
right?
For me to say what's right and what's wrong, because
I'm directly African, so I can hear the difference between this person and that person.
Yeah. You know, I'm West Indian. My people from St. Croix. You know, shout out to the Moorheads. But it's a show. And did they get the background of the essence of the character? Yes. And I thought that character was the second best series out of that whole Defenders stuff, with Daredevil being their crown jewel and what they were trying to push forward. I thought Luke Cage was the surprise underdog that showed up. I didn't like Jessica Jones at all.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I'm surprised that right now there's talk that Feige definitely will bring up. Feige will bring back Daredevil, which is cool. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said there was 3 seasons of Jessica Jones.
There was 2.
No,
it was
3. Canceled.
Listen, I stopped watching after 1, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons.
Okay,
I didn't watch the second season.
What surprises me
was the second.
Yes, amazing. What surprises me is Luke Cage gets short shrift even today. Yes, rightfully so. I can tell you why. Why?
The public can't identify with Harlem. The public can't identify with the feel of Harlem. But if you're from Harlem, you're from New York, you can identify with that feel. When he was in the bodega, when he was walking down the street, when they fought on the street corner and people gathered around for that fight, a lot of people are not confrontational in that manner. He was a confrontational black man that was bulletproof. That's
I hear you.
Absolutely terrifying. He had a hoodie on, and it was a lot of stuff that they was pushing to put in the face of a lot of these stereotypes, and that made people uncomfortable. And I do appreciate the fact that they even took that step forward, and they gave you great visualization with a great story. It was so
good. It upsets me that there's a world in which we will get Jessica Jones back, but like Power Man is done. Like he's
no. Heroes for Hire is happening.
About that show
is it happening?
Yes.
And they're bringing Coulter back because there's no other character.
No, okay. He's slated. The dude that did Iron Fist, they're gonna recast him.
Yeah, he needs to get out.
Yeah, well,
he needs to be out
because I think they need somebody that knows martial arts.
Yes.
All right.
Let me ask you a question. Yes. How would you feel if they recast Iron Fist? Do you need him to be a white guy because he's white in the comics, or if they recast him?
Yes, it's part of the story.
Don't do no disrespect and make my man Asian just because you feel that's a crazy stereotype. Just because all Asians can fight. Don't do. I did not like what they were doing online.
If you know,
although I do understand
be the last samurai, Tom Cruise, then you know,
see, I hear you, white. And you're absolutely right. But I do understand where people were coming from when they saw that iteration of it. You know, you got your Irishman like knee deep in Asian culture. It looked bad. Like they can thread the needle, they just didn't do a good job of it.
I think the problem with Iron Fist is that it was a white guy and he was mediocre.
That's right.
Right.
He can be a white guy, but he's got to have the skills.
And this guy didn't. A white guy.
They talk all about this dragon and they never even showed it.
Yes.
Well, they showed the dragon when he went to go get the
You can just tell that they were leaning on the moviness,
right?
No. I'm just talking about the execution in the show itself.
Right.
It wasn't well done.
You needed somebody that has a martial arts background to bring across those scenes that was needed. Like, it was two scenes I can remember.
It was always a cutaway, and then it's just like some shit explodes or everybody's on the
like when he knocked down the door, he punched the engine out the car,
and like him fucking people up.
Yeah, I thought they did good when they did the Defenders movie.
Yeah.
It was better than Iron Fist show, but that was
because the Iron Fist show was already done.
Yeah.
So when they did start doing, they got the feedback, and they stepped Danny Rand's stuff up in Iron Fist the movie. I thought that his level of the college ninja, book bag ninjas, I thought that was a disservice to the character. Send the actual hand after him. Send actual ninjas after him. I just really felt they did him a disservice with when you have the antagonist that doesn't fit the level of caliber that you're making this guy out to be. And you have to establish that this dude is top 2 inside the MCU, and that can flip-flop in between. If the moon is up, Moon Knight is. If Black Panther is in Wakanda, Black Panther is. So at each period of time, but you have to establish this character is a premier fighter, right? That you can't be getting your butt whipped by some girl that you're supposed to be training with. This situation is not supposed to happen. She's not supposed to take your Iron Fist from you. This is certain things that I was like, oh, hell no, that's a no-go.
The Iron Fist, like, nobody should be beating your ass.
Right. But all of that, all that can be explained because it wasn't Feige at the helm, and Feige knows to keep canon like solid, and all the others were just kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater just for the purpose of entertainment,
So the next my main question in asking all these MCU things is where does the MCU go from here? What characters do you think we will see in movies? Silver Surfer, you think so?
This whole thing is set up for that.
Galactus, bro.
The whole thing is set up for that.
Galactus.
Are you sure that's how?
Tell me about it.
Okay, one question, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, but do you think that's still where they're going post COVID? Because that really jumbled them up. This is what you're getting right now is not what was originally put on paper. They had to move things around to make it work.
Yeah, but that's
just
scheduling. Today, I think Kevin Feige has a plan
because remember the scheduling led to different
they introduced
the scheduling led to different
and then
different people being introduced.
Just like what you said. All right, so this is how it's supposed to go, right? They always have intermediates, mediates, then main, right? So they had Loki as that arcing figure in the beginning. That's King the Conqueror. They're doing the multiverse now to build up Kane, to give you, he's going to be different iterations of himself throughout the whole MCU. And this is how you do get back certain characters that did die. This is how you do get Black Widow. What happened? This is how you do explain certain things going forward. They're trying to bring us to, the layman up to speed with how comic books work. And the fact that nothing is, Spider-Man died here, but he is alive here. And we can't go to this universe where he's alive here. Pluck him there and put him there. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So you're moving from this space to this space. The biggest deals that happened under the table was when Fox and Disney acquired Fox. Because at this period of time, Disney and Marvel, they killed off all the X-Men with No More Mutants. They killed off the Fantastic Four when they killed Johnny Storm and threw them into negative zone. These things happened for a reason, is because they are petty. They will devalue stuff that they don't have the movie assets to, because the movie assets is what builds them up money. The reason why the Hulk is so depowered is because they don't own his right to movies, right? So that's why you saw the Abomination. They own the rights to Abomination. They own the rights to She-Hulk. So you're gonna get these characters in this manner.
That's Universal, right? Universal owns the movie rights.
Yeah. So they don't own the movie rights; they own the distribution rights. Yes. So what happens is if
that's what we was talking about in the background.
Yeah, exactly. If Disney makes a movie, they're free and clear to do that. But the moment they release a movie named Hulk or Incredible Hulk, then they cannot distribute it, and that means they would have to split all the money.
And they're not doing
Universal.
That. Exactly. Universal, and they would never do that.
They're not doing that, but they found a way to implement him in every movie.
Every movie, yeah. he went from being the Hulk to Professor Hulk. What happened in between? Don't worry about that.
Yeah, they'll get to that part.
They'll get to it.
But the end game of it all is Galactus.
The end game is the movie where they did the Hulk dirty. You gonna tell me the Infinity Gauntlet is made out of
we should preface this
radiation and it's gonna tear up the Hulk by
telling you. Let me Everborn has a problem with the Hulk. He has a problem.
Let me tell you.
Somebody needs to help him with that.
Well, no, I'm a huge Hulk fan, and I didn't like what the portrayal of my character was. But let me tell you the difference between Thanos and the Hulk when it came to that aspect of it. Thanos built up a tolerance over a period of time as he was putting each gem in. The Hulk threw all gems in at one time. You understand? He didn't get a chance to build up a tolerance over a period of time. So that's why it affected him in that manner. He was still the strongest one there was. He was still able to hold it down. But you saw Thanos' little friggle arm up too at the second time he snapped. So it was the radiation of it. If he had a chance to build up tolerance over a period of time, Thanos built it up over years.
Is pissed because Thanos kicked his ass. No,
it's not. Hold on. Well, let's be clear. In the comics, Thanos has had Hulk on a leash before. I understand that.
You talk about King Hulk.
That's crazy. There's no way I could see Hulk not wanting to avenge himself after getting washed the F up.
And Natasha got killed. So no, but that's not it, right? The thing with this, and we can move on, but I just need to say this about the Hulk.
Right.
It's cool. It's his first time meeting Thanos. Hulk is not like fully smart yet, so maybe he don't know fighting things. I don't agree with that, but I could live with it as long as they come back. Right? As long as they come back and he gets his moment. Endgame is a movie. It's not really a movie. It's a send-off where everyone gets their moment, right?
Except Hulk.
Everyone except the Hulk. You could do that A-Force thing. You could do the rescue spin around shot with Iron Man. For some reason, we got to stop the whole battle for Captain Marvel to come in, and you can't give Hulk 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
It was not. It was. Listen, I had a whole room. My red room is nothing but Hulk statues. I will show you that. You will see that one day. Listen, it didn't fit, and what they were bringing it back was to the core three. That's why the core three was fighting him. It was Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. They brought it back to that original movie. Remember when Loki tried to take over? Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. And they brought it back to that. Those were the Avengers. You understand? Even though the Hulk was an Avenger, he's also been a defender. But when you go into core Avengers, Hulk was always like an add-on, to be honest with you. They brought it back to those three, and those three had to go and finish the fight. Captain America had to be who he was to get those moments out of it. As much as I would have loved for him to do something to Thanos to get back into that whole thing, it just didn't fit. It just really didn't fit. And maybe you might get that in a what if. What if the Hulk got his revenge, in this? I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of questions for that. But I honestly don't feel that it adds to what Endgame turned out to be. I don't think so.
Yeah, they did what they did because they needed to do it to move it along. But of course, you have some folks that go, "Damn it, you did my man dirty," which is understable. It's understandable.
Did him dirty in the previous movie, and I accepted it because
they got the Ebony Maw though. I like how he got a chance to take that dude out as a Banner. Because the Hulk was sick and tired of being used as a tool.
I love that part. This is to me why, like, for me, the perfect film is Infinity War.
Right.
It's Endgame that they didn't follow up on what, like with the Hulk, that kind of took the movie down a point for me and has Infinity War above it. But I know you only had an hour, so do you have to go, or can we talk about that last talk?
Let's keep it popping.
All right.
One is asleep and the other one is still up, so I'm good until they both start to fight at me. So I'm good.
All right, cool. So I want to move on to the bigger, more serious. We try to have a serious topic every week, and this week I don't know what it is. The movie got.
I have a feeling I was about to get loose.
The movie gods always provide us with something to talk about the day before we go live. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's just a reminder to me that it's like motivation that we should continue doing this show. So this week we find out that after how many years, LeVar, has Bill Cosby been released from prison?
About 2.5, 3 years. 2.5
years. Okay, so I just want to move around.
In your face, y'all mad, huh? Big mad.
Okay. So his case was thrown out, and I want to talk about this before we talk, because this says On the Real episode 10, but we've been doing this show for years. This is the rebirth of On the Real, but we talked about this back then on the other channel, right? Mr. Woods, man, you got to come join us whenever you can. But back when this happened, I think people need to understand the reason Bill Cosby was in jail. You can feel anything you want about victims. You can feel anything you want about morality. But the reason this was a case, what they used against him was a deposition that was supposed to be sealed based on a deal he made with the DA at the time. Mm-hmm. And now, during this case that sent him to jail, they decided, we're going to overturn the deal that you made with the DA. So you only spoke based on taking the word of the state. And now we're going to say, guess what? The state lied. So now we're changing those rules. Mm-hmm. Right?
Hold on.
So if you want
real quick. And I don't have the full details. So I'm gathering this as you're providing it. So I appreciate that. But are you then saying that after the original deal, it was sealed, he basically spoke under the thought that it would not be released, and then they released under the written agreement from the previous DA, right?
Correct.
And then the DA was replaced, and the new DA was like, "Nope, all bets are off." Right?
Yes.
Now, after he did that, after the new DA said all bets are off, did they then use the sealed information publicly against him?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what they used as a basis to convict him.
I hear you, but what do you say to the argument that even though you're absolutely right that it is absolutely shady what was happened, like take it from me, I think the system is broken from day one, so none of that surprises me. That's neither here nor there.
Anyway, it wasn't designed for us.
Exactly. But beyond that, still, the information that they ended up using.
No.
It was designed against us.
Specifically with us in mind.
It wasn't designed to benefit us.
To benefit
I'm sorry,
us.
I do apologize for that.
That's right.
But at one word.
That's right. But at the end of the day, though, even though, right, the system worked well as it's supposed to, right?
This is only because Bill Cosby has money. Because if it happened to me or
my
you,
question is,
there's
though,
no way
my
they would
question is,
overturn
though,
nothing.
That's not true.
The overturning is one thing, but still,
you wouldn't even got
what
that
they
far
used
because he had money. They got him.
What they used to get him right was his own words, his own, like, I promised. I'm gonna. This is just me coming from your information, right? Like, they used his own information against him. True that it was agreed upon initially that he was not. It was not going to be, and that's what gave him the trust to then come out the mouth and speak on it, right?
I'm gonna give you the layman terms to this.
He never admitted to giving women drugs unknowingly. He said
so. If that's the case, then how can that be used against him in a court of law? So that's not in the deposition, then? Like, that information is not in there.
It says no. I did not give them it unknowingly. He said he admitted that he had drug Quaaludes, but he never admitted to giving. It's like
to giving it to somebody. Okay, so if that's the case, right?
They took it knowingly. He was getting high with these women.
We can have this established. We can have this establishment saying, "Look, it's true. The process that they used to get him was faulty and shady." I don't disagree with that.
A lot of crosstalk happening right now.
Oh, I apologize. The process that they used to get him was shady. We can all agree to that. I am not in any way, shape, or form arguing that point, right? But once that was established, right, and the deposition that was supposed to be sealed, I kind of want to get my point across. Just that part. Right, beyond the deposition, which I agree with, still the content of the deposition was enough to charge him, or no?
Yes,
because it sounds like it was.
Okay, no, all right. Let me explain. This is the whole scenario. It's like your girl asks you, listen, just tell me the truth, and nothing's gonna happen.
That's right.
You told the truth, and then she flipped the script, kicked you out, and it's over. Now, had you known this was going to transpire, you would have definitely worded yourself a totally different way, and it would have had a whole different outcome.
Different situation.
They got him to release his information out that way, switch the DA, so now you're no longer held to this standard. This DA is out. This deal is off the boards. Listen.
See, but I agree with you. That's 100% true. But still, if your girl promised that she wouldn't get mad at you, if you just admitted to that one weekend, and then you admit to that one weekend,
I'm not falling for that.
And then you admit to that one weekend, and then she hates on you. You still did the one weekend, whether
it don't matter. No. We talking about the letter of the law here.
Exactly.
No, we're not gonna poo-poo the fact that you gave me your word. You ain't gonna flip out on me. So
I don't argue with that. I'm not arguing with that. That's true.
See,
that's true.
You're arguing the part of the government. Listen. You told me. If this is sealed, this is that, this is the deal we going for. Yeah. All right, so this is good faith. I come in good faith. You handle your situation in good faith. You flip the script on me. Now, if I tell you this weekend in Vegas, what happened? Just tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth. Oh, well, we ain't gonna have no issues. Nah, we good. I'll tell you the truth, and then my bags is outside. Listen, blood. This is not how it's gonna happen. This is not how it's gonna go. So this is why you're supposed to be wary at all times. I want this to be a cautionary tale to every individual that has to write something that's sealed, signed, and delivered, and make sure that situation can't be double backed upon on you, because his lawyers and everybody thought that
there are two bad
solid.
Deals here.
Of course.
To me, it looks like two bad deals happened here. First off, obviously, he was shitted on, right? He was lied to, which 100%, full-throated. I completely agree. That is that's uncalled for. That in and of itself should throw the whole case out, because you said one way and then he comes out the mouth and you give him another way.
Isn't not gonna get thrown out. Go ahead.
But even though that is established, that does not make the content also null and void.
Okay, but here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. I'm taking morality and all of those things out of it, right?
Okay.
I
can't take morality out of it.
No. I can. You can try him, right? Because this is the thing. If you say that you made a deal, right, and you this deal is signed, like King, you just said that.
Yeah.
Make sure a deal is signed. If they didn't throw this case out because the case basically hinged on them reneging on the deal, then no deal in any court ever means anything ever again.
Exactly.
So
why is that surprising?
No, but hold on. But again, so it's the law that put him in jail.
Yes.
And if the law is faulty, then he can't be in jail.
Right.
Look. To me, that law argument is just some white dude who decided that this is now a law until they decide it's not.
No, so the argument was, listen, the bottom line was sit down. That's all it was. It was sit down. It's repercussions for stuff and actions that he did, and they were looking for dirt to
try to find ways to get him.
Right, to besmirch his name, to make sure that his name is not in the running. He wasted all his money defending himself. Okay, so you no longer have that money to try to buy NBC. You're no longer going to be an entity in trying to play in this arena with information. Where information is power and information is key. So let's just look at it. Let's call a spade and look at it for what it was. All right. This is how you take a clean man and make him dirty and bring him down. Not saying whatever he did, because I was not in those rooms. So at no point in time am I able to judge a man, because I am a man.
That second part is the part where I'm a little bit concerned about. I hear you on that first part. No argument with me. The second part that I'm a little concerned about is if the details of the deposition are true, then you can't say this is how to take a clean man and dirty him up. He wasn't clean in the first place. True that the way that they went to get him was not the way to go get him.
No, but who is clean?
A lot of unclean people.
Let's be clear
in closed doors. He's at closed. All right. See, this is what I have a problem with, because first of all, what's the statutes of limitations on these type of things? Well, you know, I have a problem with what goes on behind closed doors between consenting individuals. And then it gets brought to light later on, years later.
Of any of this, they have no DNA, nothing. It's all hearsay. So it's like,
is it a civil case?
It can be proven. It can be proven.
See, all hearsay, and I agree with that, and that's good. What did he say in the deposition?
There's no proof that they were not willing participants in the acts that took place.
So the point, what we're discussing here,
if you had said it that night, say it then. There's no way you could get me to believe that a black man was serial raping white women in the late 60s and early 70s, and they ain't hang him from a tree like Emmett Till didn't exist. Before Bill Cosby was America's dad, when he was just a comedian, you telling me he was serial raping white women?
And this was the 70s and the 60s. There's no way they would have let him slide for as long as he slid if he was really doing it. I hear you.
So
see, my only part of the puzzle that worries me,
taking away his legacy, because if that's the case, take down the Washington Monument, take all these slave owners off this money.
I agree.
Take down the damn freaking
listen, like
all of this monuments to all these people.
The way, all right. That stuff is not going to happen, because the way the foundation of everything is built is
assassinating the character of a black man.
All right, let's get to that part. The assassination of the character, right? Did he have a hand in his own assassination? 9 times out of 10, we all do, right?
We all do.
9 times out of 10, we all do.
What you into to use it against you,
right?
To keep you in your place,
right?
Because Bill Cosby kept,
but he was a habitual line stepper, right or wrong?
See, but okay. Let me tell you what's on my mind real quick.
Yes, he's this moral compass,
real quick,
and then they they got dirt.
What's on my mind?
Not that they weren't willing participants, but it's shit that they could have used against him, and I'm
equating this to the same kind of assassination that was done with MLK. Okay, it's not the same, obviously, but same idea. There's a man who was reaching us, and as such, the powers that be needed him silenced, right? So they have to do whatever they got to do to silence him. That was the ultimate way, right? With MLK. Right. Since then, you got R. Kelly, you got Michael Jackson, you got Bill Cosby. All of them have their versions of that, right? But the difference is with MLK, he had a few extra marital here and there, but at the end of the day, everyone could see it was a character assassination because it was all just that, right? And still, to this day, all they can say is, they needed to get him gone. They used whatever they could to get him gone, right? In this specific instance, though, he kind of gave them the tools they needed to get him gone. It's not a situation of I'm just a black man doing me and you guys are using something to get rid of me because I'm good. He himself kind of went beyond the pale a little bit.
I felt that he was the instrument of his own destruction.
That's right.
I'm not saying that it's
because LeVar, what you're saying there, like when you say it like that, it equates the MLK and Bill Cosby.
Oh no, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas Cosby's not the same.
Forget all the other women who accused him. The one who he was on trial for, Andrea Constrand, he gave her Benadryl. It was not Quaaludes. So that means that even whoever with that hearsay shit, because there's no proof of that, there's no way to disprove it anyway. But the fact is, he gave Andrea Constrand
this is Bill Cosby. He has money. People don't want him to shine.
Lied on the stand in the first trial, and it was a mistrial because she said she had no relationship with him, but it was proven that she brought her parents to meet him at a comedy show after this alleged rape took place.
We
all of this bullshit
We know that these things
It's hearsay.
Is hearsay, but remember he got
If
caught
you
up
tell me there's a bag
in
at the end of the road, and it's just there, like he was mean to me one time, he could have never had sex with any of them, and they could just say it because there's a bag at the end of the road. He got caught up in the whole
Me Too stuff, and you know the Harvey Weinstein stuff. Where there's actual real predatory things that's going on there. All right. Let's not confuse the two, but everything is going to be blended in when you're lumped into the crowd. But again, his own words were used against him, and his own words were used against him illegally. So this is the only reason why he is out. I'm not arguing, was he right? Was he wrong? I don't know what went on, right? I'm not arguing, should he be free or should he not be free? I don't know what went on as far as that goes. But what I do know is if the law was broken to put someone in jail, then you must fix 100%. That to 100%. Release him. Now, if you're going to go recharge him and try him again, God bless, good luck. But I'm going to tell you this. You fooled him once, he ain't going to be fooled again. Yeah. And that whole deposition and all that stuff is thrown out. All right, so if you caught him off of that deposition the last time, you will not catch him off the deposition again.
Part, I completely agree. I hear what you're saying. You know, the reason for this is because the law was incorrectly implemented, and because of that, he's out of jail. Yeah, any of the extras are different. I hear
Genie Prime. I'm not arguing, and I don't care about what is trying to be alleged or what happened because I'm not there. I'm not the all-seeing eye. I'm not Ra. I do not get a chance to use those eyes and those powers to see this. But what I can say is if they broke the law to put him in jail, these are little technicalities on why certain people get off of things. Yep. You understand? If the people that are in charge of the law uses the law and breaks it to incarcerate you, and this is found out to be true, you are free. That's what happened.
And let me add another thing to that. Why this thing? Because again, I've always said, and you, like I said, we can go back to the other videos of me talking about this. Take my feelings out of it, right? Forget feelings, right? If they can do that, meaning people make deals and we say, psych, we just want you in jail. Who else can they do that to?
Yeah.
Who you think they can't do that to you when you don't got Bill Cosby money?
Come on now.
So
that's neither here nor there. That's just built into the cake at this point.
Regardless of how you feel about any situation, like King said, they broke the law because they wanted him in jail for whatever reason. And we know the reason because it was a sort of public thing going on at the time with that.
If he would have walked at that period of time, are you nuts? No, it would have turned a whole bunch of things on his head. He had to go sit down. Go sit yourself down and listen. I think that's karma. Whatever you did, if you did something wrong or whatever, you sat your behind down. You sat down, right? I don't know what went on. And to be honest with you, I really don't care to know what went on, because if you're doing something in the dark, it will come out to the light at some point in time. I want y'all to notice whatever you do in the dark today, I don't care if it's tomorrow, a week from now. My mama always told me this, that it will be shown at some point in time. So be ready to defend your actions. Wasn't
there already a mention of Emmett Till today once? It took some years,
but it came
many years
out.
But it came out. It definitely came out. Yeah,
you're
absolutely right with that.
So my thing is, we need to have the law be sacred.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And I think that honestly, that's the biggest part, because we can't go into a courtroom feeling that the judge is against you, the DA is against you, and your lawyer is against you. You cannot go in a court of this manner, because if those things happen in that manner, then that means you have no faith in the judicial system. And I know the judicial system hasn't shown us for us to have faith in it, because like we said before, it wasn't made for our benefit. It was made for our detriment, because we were put behind the 8 ball from the beginning. Look at our credit score when we're born. That's a whole different thing. But At the same time, you gotta have faith in the letter of the law will be upheld. And if you're able to hold on to the letter of the law when you go into a courtroom and you can advocate on your behalf, then you should be in good standing. You should not be advocating on your behalf in good standing and the law backs you for the law to be broken, you to be incarcerated, and there's no repercussions for those situations. And this is exactly what happened. They found out that they broke the law and they released them.
And they
very simple.
Yeah. So imagine, you know what?
Just 1 second, Kay. 1 second, Kay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Imagine you're going to court for whatever thing, and then your lawyer works out a deal with the DA, and they say, well, if you plead guilty or if you do this and that, then this will be the deal. And you go and you incriminate yourself based on the promise that was made. And then you get up in front of the judge and then they hit you with the, okay, tear that. You remember in Game of Thrones where Ned Stark brought the paper from the king to Cersei. And she was like, So and that's basically what they did. And you cannot be for that. You can't. I don't know how anybody could not say that this is a victory just for the case of the law.
Just the letter of the law. This is a victory of law.
So that's the thing. Yeah. Okay. So real quick, that's how it should be communicated. And as a guy who hadn't dug too deeply in, so I appreciate all the information you guys are providing me.
We see that picture.
That's
you switched to LeVar.
Yeah. We appreciate the picture, by the way. That's how it should be spoken about. I think they're doing well. I was about to say they're doing a disservice, but I think they're doing that on purpose. But they're kind of conflating the whole morality thing with the law as well. So it's making this, hey, you see this bad guy, he was let out of jail. Isn't this bad? Right. Whereas when you dig into the details and see the actual, like the cause of him being released, it is righteous that he has been released because of those discrepancies that were made.
Right.
But whenever it's spoken about, it's kind of conflated and it makes it difficult to see the truth from all the various, feelings.
Let me say something to Game Genie. A black man did not beat the law. You understand? He didn't beat the system. All right.
Nope.
The system was broke. They broke it to incarcerate him. Now
and then someone else saw that and decided to basically bypass it or undo it so that the law can still stand.
Yeah, you know what? Because the law must always be
must stand.
It must always be blind. This is the reason why she's blind. It must always be that way. But at the same time, the level of assassination to one, his character is done. All right. He has done jail time.
His character statement, very true.
Yes,
very true. That's what I can see.
Whoever loves you gonna love you. Whoever hates you gonna hate you.
Yeah,
who messes with him gonna always mess with him.
But if you read his point here, the point that's listed here proves that it's almost like they're trying to use the media power, the news, to kind of hide what's really going on.
I always thought this was a civil
focusing
case.
So much on the morality of it, so that it can kind of bypass the idea of the case. I
always thought it was a civil case and it should be handled as such because
but it was a civil case,
right? But then
Steve, you watched the video I sent.
Yeah.
That this whole thing, the prosecutor, when it was the original case, because if we're just talking about Andrea Contra, forget all these other accusers.
If you send me that video on Twitter, I'll put it up so people could hear it. But
the original case, the prosecutor didn't want to prosecute it because he felt that he didn't have enough because it was Benadryl, and he's like, you have a better chance with a civil suit. So that's what it was, and it's just they're like, she had an ongoing relationship with Bill Cosby. If Bill Cosby would just give these women money just to make it go away, to not have bad publicity. But these women were willing participants in whatever. All these women who accused him, that doesn't mean that he did anything. There's no proof of anything. This is not to discredit any woman who has ever been the victim of something, but a gold digger is a gold digger. It's just that, like, if somebody give you drugs,
that's not what's going on here. That's not the point here. The point here, though,
I know why he got off, but I'm just saying he should have never been locked up or any of that. I know why he got off, because they made a promise to him and they broke that promise. I get all of that, but this whole thing was based on a lie.
Well, but we don't know that. Like it was never really.
Talking about Angela Constantine, you can't let people in from 30 years of hearsay when you never filed a police report before that, and it's just a case, and then they pile it on and then act like that's evidence.
But the thing is, I don't want it to. I don't think we even have to come to any allegations of anything.
Yeah.
Right. The lie that the first lie that this is based on is that deposition that they reneged. You don't even have to get into all of that.
Yeah, because before he opened his mouth and spoke anything, you guys had promised him something, and that promise was broken. So before any word was uttered, that was the end of it.
Because you know what that does? That actually puts any deal.
At least 20 of the women who accused him never even met him.
Listen, but then
they just inflate the numbers, so people say, 50 women accused him.
The whole thing is it tears down how the judicial system works. If you have a plea deal involved, how many people don't take a plea deal now because of the fact that what you just did over here? Like, how do I know that if I agree to this, that I'm not going to get railroaded like my man over here? You understand? So how many things is on exactly? How many times?
And they won't make any news articles about that when they do it. When they do it to you, that's it. You're lost, right? So and anybody, like, again, we could say that the system should be torn down. That's cool.
Well, fix it,
right? We'll fix it, but the system completely means nothing if you can do that. Now, as to the other problem here is that it was done specifically to rush the public narrative at the time of that, right? Because they rushed this thing because they were
what they're doing now.
Get it into
that narrative is what's the same thing is happening now, because they're leading with the morality and kind of hiding the legal ramifications.
Well, listen, it's going to hit different now than it did then. It's just the fact. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome, brother. Listen, I don't want anybody to confuse anybody's stance on this, right? Or my stance on it, because my stance is the letter of the law was broken, and to reestablish that letter of the law, to stand by your word. I expect the law to stand by their word. This is the only thing I ask for, because we must have justice, and it's not justice for one, it's justice for all. If you're in that law, our forefathers, made these laws to help bind the country. Don't break the law, because in breaking the law, you breaking the law, right?
So with this, they're basically trying to say, hey, still have some faith, because we recognize that was a mistake, and by letting him out, we've corrected that mistake, right?
Right.
That's what they're trying to do here.
We let the guy out that has $1 million lawyers that have been fighting the thing the whole time.
And most folks don't even know the technicality in which case he got let off on. That's not the story they're leading with.
There's also people that defend their own case that had legal aids that railroaded them, and they actually went to jail and went to law library and found out stuff that can get them off of different type of stuff. Listen. The law is put there. If you're going to dig into the law, not every lawyer knows every letter of the law, but your very specific case, maybe something went wrong in there. Maybe there's a technicality that's in there that can help you in your circumstance. What I'm saying is, if an injustice is done, then justice must be met. It must be served. All right. So if somebody was told one thing, and they deal with set, and I have a problem with that, because if I'm a man of my word. So if I think of the joke every time I say that, I'm a man of my word. But if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't feel that the other party has the right to renege on the deal that was made. If that happens, then I'm going to be upset in a manner that, of course, rightfully so across the board. So if one party expects you to live up to your end of the bargain, you live up to your end of the bargain, and we move forward. It wasn't advantageous for that to happen at that period of time. So therefore, that law was broken. Now, if they try the same thing, you will not have the same results because it's a completely different climate at this point in time. But what they're trying to hold on is the morality part. Throw that part to the side because that part is not the law. We're talking about the law part. Now, if you want to condemn the man for whatever you believe that he's done or whatever you think that he's done, or that's totally different. And however you view the man, that is your business. Because I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not the all-seeing eye, like I said again. But I do say I'm going to defend that letter of the law because when I walk out the house, I expect the law to defend me every time, even when I'm in my house. You understand? So we got to understand that part right there as becoming an adult, as being a taxpayer, a law-abiding citizen. I look for the law to protect me and my family. If I'm not breaking the law, then I want the law to defend me. If I have no faith in the law, that is a problem.
And that is indeed a problem.
And
for many,
that really is like, I think that's kind of like the point on it. I think King, you put a button on it there.
Yep, indeed,
so I want to wrap up by talking about unless anybody has any other points they want to bring.
I just think this is very, very knowledgeable, and I think that anybody who's trying to pay attention to this story and what it's about should do a bit more digging than the slogans, because clearly they're trying to obfuscate the fact that the legal aspects of it. They're trying to hide that behind
all
the
morality. Of these news networks are complicit, and we can say that Cosby. Like, I hear people talking about the character assassination thing. I don't have to get that far because I'm with you, King. The letter of the law was broken, and that needed to be rectified before we get into anybody's feelings and opinion. Yes. However, people that say like he beat the system, if he was trying to buy NBC before, or he was trying to do this and do that, that's done.
It doesn't matter. There is no beating the system when his character has been assassinated. The people who think he's guilty are going to always think he's guilty. It doesn't matter because the numbers of people that accused him.
He would be toxic for any large business deals right now.
Be clear, Bill Cosby is going to sue the prosecutor and sue the state, because if the Supreme Court ruled that this was unjust, they have to pay him back all his legal fees
and the money he lost.
All the
as a result of
and his Netflix deals, you got to pay me all that back.
You can lose all that type of stuff, but you don't get back reputation.
It don't matter.
No, it actually matters with future business.
It does matter, but Bill Cosby, be clear, Bill Cosby, how long he got to live? Bill Cosby, 80-something years old. It's just they're like, at least he got his dignity and he maintained his innocence. The people who believe in him still believe in him. He has supporters, and everybody ain't gonna love me, and I'm cool with that. The people who love me. The people who hate me, fuck y'all. Part of my French.
Yeah, this is absolutely true. It's just that whole. It's the way you live life. I think I posted it the other day. You can't go living life with regardless with how people think about you. And like I said, that's a whole different subset of it. I don't really read newspapers, even though I deal with print media. I don't deal with it because I know that stuff can be skewed in a manner. I deal in the black and whites of it. And the black and whites of the situation. All I care about is the law. Was the law broken? And if the law was broken, then please put them in jail. If the law was not broken, then please don't put them in jail. Just find that whole situation and see the law. Just go to the letter of the law and let lawyers talk about it. Have a team of lawyers talk about it. If you don't know the information that's being shared between us individuals, because I'm not a lawyer at no point in time.
And again, for me, this hit home for me. Like, forget about the Cosby Show and all of that. This hit home for me because, as you know, I have been a person that in the past was almost railroaded by the law. And so again, I know firsthand how they can just say, well, this is the truth because we say it's the truth.
We say so.
Yeah. Right? No, well, let me tell you something. I mean, you told your story on Iron Lord's podcast. I forgot what episode that was. And the reason why I resonated with what you said, because, me and Cog was talking in the background. Listen, I came up on the different side of stuff. And, when you go in the courtroom, you go in the courtroom with your shield and you go in there with your sword. And that is the law. Right. And if you have a good lawyer and you have your good lawyer is your mouthpiece, that's your sword, and your shield is that law. So if you can't go in there armed and you're going in there naked, then why are you going in there? And if that mentality is the mentality of somebody that you pull over, like let's say a cop pulls over somebody and he's not protected by the letter of the law. He has to know his rights while he's sitting in that car, because irrational thoughts can go through that individual head that in turn endangers the police officer and endangers that person inside that car. We want the law to be upheld on both ends. The dude in the car need to know his rights, and the law and the officer going to that car need to know his rights going there. And we don't want the law to be broken on either side. Everybody wants to get home safe. I just feel that the letter of the law, it has different ramifications going on if we don't believe in the law. If we believe that somebody is out to get us, we're going to act irrational. And I don't think that should be the mindset of us going forward. I think that we should learn more about the law. I think the law should be taught in school as an academic thing, opposed to not being taught in school. I think we all should know the basic fundamentals of the law. Your Miranda rights, just certain situations, you're supposed to know how to act and conduct yourself in different manners so that you don't break the law when you think you're following the law. I don't want us to
shut up till you talk to your lawyer.
Exactly. But also know what type of lawyer you get, like Mike Tyson getting an entertainment lawyer when he was defending a rape charge. But it's different things. You understand? So we are ignorant to the law. We need to be more indoctrinated into the law, and I think it's supposed to start at a fundamental basis.
And to your point, right? I think that's very important that we should know that. Another thing that they don't teach us on purpose is financial responsibility.
Oh, please.
Right? These are things you would think that these are things that they would teach you in school.
But they're going to teach you Christopher Columbus.
Right. Right. We teach you the American myth, but we don't teach you how to actually use the system.
In my home state right now, they are abolishing critical race theory. Just a thought. Oh yeah.
With your governor over there.
Oh yeah. And that was when I decided that my home will be sold before my daughter hits school. That's what's going to happen, because I'm not staying here for them to be teaching her ridiculousness.
I'm just saying, you in Florida, it took you till now to realize that?
It's a process, my friend. Okay.
I mean, that's
a conversation for a different day. Okay, that's a conversation. It's a long process, and we'll talk.
I just want to say this: the criminal justice system is broken. It's a lot of black men in jail for crimes that they did not commit. There's people who have been executed and then been exonerated after the fact by DNA. So Bill Cosby, great that he got out, but
yeah, no, that's true.
The whole criminal justice system needs to be, examined.
I'm in a state that literally does their best to make sure that criminal justice system doesn't work for people that look like me. That's the state.
Well, that's not the state you're supposed to be
part and parcel of the state. Oh yeah. Oh.
Get out.
Indeed. Let's keep it moving.
All right, but let's wrap it up here. So I want to go around the round table and ask what we are planning to watch this week. So I will start again with our special guest, who is always welcome back here. I think this was an amazing conversation. So I appreciate you for it. You always got the invite. I'm gonna just send you out the link whenever we do the shows. You just join if you feel
just
like
pop in whenever you feel like it.
I appreciate that.
But what you gonna be watching this week, brother?
I'm going to be watching is that Amazon movie comes out on my birthday, actually, July 2nd.
Oh, is that Tomorrow War?
Yes.
With
Chris Pratt. I was anticipating it for a minute. I was like, man, it's gonna drop on my birthday. We got something to watch. Get my popcorn ready. Eat my cake.
Oh wait, so hold on. I gotta show you. Wait, hold on. I got the nacho machine.
Oh, what is that doing back there?
Oh, listen. We do a movie night every Friday. So, King, if you ever in Yonkers, come through.
Got more cheese?
Yonkers, I'm right at Mount Vernon.
I know.
Right down the block.
Listen, anytime.
Yo, you'll see me. Don't do that invite. I'll be there.
Listen, 8:00 every Friday. I got your number. I'm gonna give you the address. You come through whenever.
Plus, me and you got to chop it up anyway.
Exactly.
Like I said, Iron Lords is doing a hell of a lot of stuff going forward. Shout out to my man, Lord Cognito.
Yes.
That's right. On Defining Duke. He got a co-host chair there. And this is stuff that we knew that was in the works, and we had conversations about this stuff. And you got to give a shout out to my Iron Lords. We are LLC as of this week. There's a lot of big things that is happening and is moving forward as black and brown and white, because we are diverse on Iron Lords. As brothers, to form an LLC, a company, your business owner, people. That's what you want to strive to do. I've been a business owner separately, but I mean, as you're doing it as a collective, as lifelong friends, that means a whole lot more. And I want anybody that's in the earshot of me. Financial independence is self-worth, and you must find your self-worth. And the only way you're going to find that is in believing in yourself. So please believe in yourself to put yourself to that point, because those ideas that you have in your head, somebody else has those same ideas in their head. The difference between you and them is they're applying that. Mm-hmm. Apply it.
That's what they say. Like, good doesn't triumph over evil. Evil doesn't trample over good. It is just the willing that beat the passive every time.
Yes.
You don't got to be the best. You just got to be the hardest worker.
Right. So
got to be present.
But I saw that LLC, King, and the first thing I thought was welcome to the world of tax write-offs.
Oh yes. I want everybody to actually purchase cars. If you're an individual that have your own business, line 179.
Talk about it.
Learn that. Learn how, when you look at me, you say, oh, why is he in that brand new Escalade? Oh, how did he get the line 179 as a business owner? Learn that, and you will understand. You'll thank me later. If you want to send me something to my PayPal, hit me later. You will, because I just saved you a whole lot of money, and I ain't Geico.
Hey, listen, man, all this 3080s and all these things we got here. Yeah, but tell that to Uncle Sam.
I write all that off every year. I'm a tech guy. My whole PC is done. When I saw Cog's news, the first thing I thought of is, now he can't say that they're not an Xbox podcast anymore, because more of them are on Xbox.
He's on an Xbox podcast. I'm the Xbox dude on Iron Lords podcast. But
see how logistically it's getting confusing now?
No. He's a Nintendo dude. Like, when he gets to Iron Lords,
Switch coming in hot.
Yeah, he gonna stay on that Switch. I'm not gonna let him off that.
So now we're gonna go on Defining Duke and give him a hard ass time.
Oh yes, please do.
We absolutely gonna be in the chat. Okay, so now, Mr. Johnson. Well, there's a lot of Mr. Johnsons here, but Vaughn,
what you watching?
What you watch? What do you plan on watching this week?
What am I planning on watching? I don't even know what's coming out, because I watched everything. I binge watched everything, and I'm just waiting for Loki.
Give people a recommendation. You did watch something, which is that new Killing Joke, right? Not the Killing Joke.
The Long Halloween.
Long Halloween.
Yeah. That was good. I'm waiting for part 2 of that. It's coming out this month.
Isn't that ridiculous? That they set you up and then they got to let you be out there for the rest of 2021. It is coming in 2021.
It's coming. It's coming.
I knew that was happening. I refrained from watching.
Annoying. But part one, King.
Part 1 was good. I liked it.
Real good. Real
I recommend that.
Was it good? Did you read the book?
Yes.
Was it faithful to the book? Was it faithful to? Okay,
it is. That's why I'm like, it's good. It's faithful to the book. Yes, very much so.
Speaking of books,
what you thought about that trailer for the Sopranos prequel?
Oh, with his son playing him. Yeah,
I didn't see that. I know I saw something. What was it? Not Be Quiet. What?
Quiet Place 2. Where they trying to make old dude the good guy.
Yes. No, they not. It's a twist. It's a twist. It's a twist. And please remember, listen, go back and watch the first one to see what he's trying to do with the second one. Please just go back and watch the first one. He is not the good guy, and and the bad guys is actually the good guys.
Looks like it.
Yeah, but that's how it's set up. Though
I gotta watch it again because I was like, I don't know how I feel about this dude.
Yeah, me too.
He's still the protagonist.
He's still a villain. But you got to see what he's doing. The bad guys is actually. I can't wait to see that film.
Okay. All right. So then I was gonna say, as far as comic adaptations that I would like to see done, I want to see Immortal Hulk. If you are not familiar with Immortal Hulk, that right there is all. Make it into a series or something. Disney Plus.
I'm trying to get that statue. I want them to do a statue first. Please make a statue, Sideshow.
But okay, so and I love because the real Hulk is Jekyll and Hyde, right? They do it different. I loved what they did.
He's a little bit more than that. He has a multiple personality displacement disorder, and the fact that he has over 13 different Hulks that's inside of his head is actually insane. And he's insane.
You remember around the 30th anniversary when they split? You know what? We're not going to do this again. Okay, Mr. K. Asante, tell the people what you're going to be watching this week.
So I'll tell you what I was watching, and then I'll tell you where I'm gonna watch. And I wonder what you think of this. Fatherhood.
I want to see that.
We talked about that. We talked about that last week. I really enjoyed that
NBA Finals.
So my wife,
crazy this year, man.
Wifey wanted to watch
Everybody's sick.
And I was like, okay, we'll watch it, right?
Right.
But looking at the cover, I knew what I was in for, right? And I have a 2 and a 4-year-old. I'm still fresh. Y'all got some double digits.
Yeah,
Good for you.
I got one going to college.
I'm still fresh in the game. So movies like this,
I got one trying to be a rapper.
Oh, good. Well, there you go. That's what's up. He's at least 20, right?
Yeah.
20
there you
exactly.
Go. You all right. You all right. But yeah, needless to say, that movie was great. I was in it.
Barack Obama.
I saw what's his name? Kevin Hart, and I'm like, the man can act like beyond in this movie. He is beyond the buffoonery.
There's none of that in this movie.
In this movie, he is a serious dude in a serious movie. He just happens to be a very funny guy in a serious situation. You know, and it was real. I mean, really.
Whoever directed this, they had an amazing way of moving back and forth between very dark themes and then funny, lighten it up. In almost a way that the MCU is famous for just walking that tone. I really was surprised how good that you King. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
No,
you should watch it. It is damn good.
I feel like Kevin Hart was adequate in the movie. I don't feel like it fully shows his range because it's like he didn't cry or I didn't feel like the emotion like when his wife
lost
died.
His mind. He was tearing.
Like, I didn't see.
You saw there's a scene where he's sitting there straight faced, and because of the situation, he breaks into tears and he is bawling his eyeballs out.
Fun fact.
To bawling his eyeballs out.
For everyone,
that thing hit a little bit close to home to me because
man,
my wife almost died on the table with my son. That's my last kid, and I saw it and I was just like, nah, I'm not ready to watch that.
Yeah, when things emotionally resonate with you, it's different.
Yeah.
It took me a while to sit down and actually watch it. Was it worth it? 100%. But know what you're getting yourself into. Know what you're getting yourself into because it'll pull at you. It is really emotionally draining. When I was done, I was like, this was great. I think Kevin Hart should do more serious films because this proves that he can do it.
Might open the door.
But I probably wouldn't watch it.
He did another one that was
in drama.
That was another. He did a movie with Bryan Cranston.
I do remember.
And that was based off
of
a French movie. Yeah. But anyway, so
that movie was great.
That movie, it is based on a Yahoo employee.
Yes.
Actually, a white guy. Funny enough. But
I did hear about that. So I watched that. I thought that was great. I finished the second season of Lupin.
Good for you.
Still great. Yeah. Love that show. It is so good.
Do you feel more classy after finishing it?
Oh man, I just love watching that dude, man. He can do no wrong in my eyes. So if you haven't seen Lupin, go watch that.
By the way,
one that I watched.
Fun fact: the star of Lupin is the one who starred in the French version of that movie that Kevin Hart
yes, exactly, the one that Kevin Hart did in Bryan Cranston's. You're right. I saw that. What is it, Magnifique or whatever? It was a French title.
Go ahead.
Yes, and then wife got me into a TV show called Manifest. It got canceled, and now it's like the #1 movie on show on Netflix, and it's actually pretty damn good.
That I'm on episode 2.5, the second episode. I'm in the middle of the second episode.
Pretty good.
That is what I was going to be saying that I'm recommending for people to watch this week. Good. I started watching it yesterday.
I lost it. I've lost it a little bit further down the episodes. I'm not going to say anything since you're still watching it. Like, it hasn't been hitting as it has on the first a few episodes, but I'm still in it. It is fire.
I'm on the second
Game
episode.
Genie Prime. You're right. It is really good. There's only a few seasons, and we already know they've already canceled it. So I'm like, man, Netflix, y'all better bring it back. It's the #1 TV show on Netflix in America right now. So hopefully they're gonna come out.
I'm gonna finish episode 2 right after this show. All right. So
what I'm planning on watching, real quick, I was actually planning on watching this, and then I saw Mr. Boomstick XL on Twitter basically tell me that I should be watching that, even though I was planning on watching it anyway. Dynasty Warriors. Have y'all heard about there's a Dynasty Warriors movie on Netflix? And supposedly it's
based on the game?
It's based on the game, yes. Dynasty Warriors. And it's pretty good. Mr. Boomstick approved. I saw him tweet about it. And I actually saw the cover and was planning on watching it anyway. So I will report in next week if it's good or not. It's got his seal of approval. He said it was very good. So I'm definitely going to give it a shot. So that's what I'll be watching.
All right. Yeah. So for me, it is all about Manifest. That's what I'm watching now. And there was one more thing, which was there's a trilogy of movies that start the Fear Street trilogy. Part 1, 1994, starts on Friday, and every week there's going to be a new movie. I think the next one is like 1974, and then it's going to be like 1694.
Where is this being shown? Is it a streaming thing or
it's a streaming? It's Netflix. It's a 3-week movie event. So it's 3 separate movies coming out every Friday. So Fear Street, the Fear Street trilogy. Check. I'm very big into horror movies, so that's the thing I'm recommending for everybody. If you're into the Duppy shows, if you're from the island.
He said the Duppy Man is coming. Who said the Duppy Man?
but yeah, that's it. Now I want to get everybody out of here because King, I know we've taken too much of your time, but I
had a great time, brother. They didn't text me. Like I said, one is asleep, another one watching TV. I guess I don't know, but I don't have to worry about that.
Tell them where they can find you, good sir. Even though they already know, tell them anyway.
You can find me on Iron Lords Podcast Sundays at 1 p.m. this Sunday. The guest will go up on Saturday. We have an entertaining guest that should be shown. Sad to tell you that DCX is no longer happening. We're still working that.
What happened?
Yeah, my man, the host had a little couple of issues in the background, family wise and stuff like that. So he's taking a step back. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to help him, because like I said, health is wealth and everything is that everything else is second, family and everything is first. So we're trying to, work with that situation to see what will happen. But, again, if it does happen, we still got one more day to that situation. But as of today, to the best of my knowledge, that is not a situation. So Fridays at 9 p.m. It might be something up. If I tweet it out, I'll let everybody know. But if it's not, that means you might be free for these movie nights we doing. So yeah.
You call that a callback right there.
I think it is entirely possible that we could be cousins.
Your last name's Johnson. We all come from the same plantation.
And my grandfather
had like 30 kids.
I'm not even joking.
Possible.
Yeah, it's hella possible.
So we'll do the family tree thing another day.
Yeah,
but
we might find out some stuff.
Mr. John, LeVar, tell them where they can find you. I noticed something. Can I say it?
Yeah, I took out the.
He took out.
Oh the God, he took out the underscore.
You the only one left. On Instagram and Twitter.
On Instagram and Twitter.
You the only one left. You the only one left.
Why you got him on me?
On Instagram and Twitter.
LeVar F. Johnson. Something that people can remember. There's no underscores.
Yeah, on YouTube as well. It's LeVar F. Johnson on everything.
Branding,
wonderful,
baby.
Sir. Wonderful, sir. Well done.
Three of us on this show understand it. One of us don't.
Oh, stop it. Stop
Mr.
it.
Ken
Stop
K.
it.
Asante, why don't you tell them at all the places they can find you with all your underscores?
Here it goes.
K _Asante on Twitter. That's all you need to know. Thank you
so
much for
what about Xbox? What about PlayStation? What about Steam? Everybody in this
comes,
but this is not a game podcast, though.
Exactly. You see?
So he shouldn't have to give that information out. He should just give out his Twitter.
He just wants to be a little bit out the mouth.
I'm trying to. I understand. We both wearing blue, so I'm hanging out with you.
You know.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you coming to the show. This was great, man. We hope you can come back again soon.
I definitely will, brother. I love intellectual conversation with individuals of like minds.
Yo, listen, we all black men. I say we always got to be on code all the time.
People don't get that part. They don't get that part. We don't get a chance to slack or relax. They don't get that part. We don't get a chance to let our hair down. I can't either anyway. But
my favorite, what is it? My favorite Chris Rock joke. He lives next to a dentist. Not the greatest dentist in the world, just a dentist. That's what you got to do. You want to be there, you got to be the best of the best. They can just be whoever they want. If you want to be successful, you better be the best in every room you happen to be in.
My favorite Chris Rock joke.
Who taught you Octagon, nigga?
I got another one. My favorite Chris Rock joke is when you in a relationship, you're not supposed to be having problems. You should be traveling and fucking. So all you should be doing is coming and going.
I love that.
That sounds like a man who's seen divorce.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Exactly. Okay, so you can find me because my branding is in order at
here we go.
Everborn Saga everywhere. No underscores, just Everborn Saga. Type it out. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
My email is LeVar F. Johnson.
There you go.
We're gonna be here a while. Don't worry.
Listen,
go ahead, keep going.
I'm the same way with you. My joint's all over the place. Why? Because I didn't expect to do this, but God bless, we're here.
It is what it is, and eventually it'll be tweaked.
Yeah.
While this man's on my ass all day.
But King, this is your first episode, and we want you back, so it's not gonna be no branding smoke today.
Oh, don't worry about it. I know you'll come for me later. Exactly. Me later. I see you get your ducks in a row. I'm watching.
But Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, TikTok. Even though I'm not on there, I just made it because I wanted to lock that down. All of that, but most importantly, everbornsaga.com. That's where you can get like the posters that you see in the back, the hats, the Everborn mask. See, my man.
Mine's right over there.
I got my stuff.
Let's talk about it.
My stuff. If you ain't get it, you ain't with it. I got my stuff.
If you ain't got it,
where's mine, man? Oh yeah, he's in New York, so is you. So that's why he got his early.
No, that's not you talking about the Ariel's Adventure, which by the way just got off of the boat, and so UPS will be picking it up in the next.
You know who asked me about that? My daughter asked me about that 2 days ago. I thought you were gonna get me another book, my dad. Where is it?
It's coming. It's coming.
I'm about to get these CDC certified. I'm about to get mine laminated, backboard and printed. Trust me, I understand where this is going. I saw Ninja Turtles when Ninja Turtles first came out, and I knew exactly what they was when it happened. I still got my original copies. So listen, I see greatness when I see it.
Thank you, sir. Speaking of greatness, I'm trying to get my $25,000 together so I could pay PlayStation when this Everborn game come out.
That's a whole different conversation.
You are gonna love Saturday for that
Sunday.
You will love Sunday. Oh, you should know. God bless. Good night.
All right, but that's it, people. Thank you, Gerald Mack. Thank you, Omar.
Game Genie Prime.
Everybody. Time Pat with the gem that he dropped in there about things being morality because they don't want to focus on the law. Everybody that came
White Hawk.
Yes, we will be back Next week, we do this every Thursday at 8 o'clock. I thank you, King. I thank you, LeVar. I thank you, Kay Asante. That's it. We are out of here, and I appreciate you guys so much. Please share this out and hit the like button if you can, and tell your friends to tell a friend that it's them again.